All right. This is a YouTube video for the Rapture, okay? There's a lot of people talking about the Rapture happening in 2025, which is most likely, well, I believe is correct, and second Passover 2025. But the thing that people are missing is, if you study the Passover, when is the lamb brought into the house? Okay? The lamb is brought into the house 4 days before the actual Passover sacrifice, so the family can bond with the lamb so they can sacrifice it. That's the whole point of the lamb coming into the house. Excuse me. So here's the thing. Second Passover is supposed to be, I believe, I don't have my computer out in front of me. I don't have my laptop out in front of me. I didn't write it down. I'm just taking a guess. But if you look at second Passover of 2025, I think it's on the 12th of May, I believe. Okay? But if you count the 4 days backwards from it, okay, I believe it is the 8th of May when we actually get raptured. Now, you have to check my math. You have to check my calculations because, like I said, I don't have anything open. I'm just doing this cold right off the bat, okay? But what I'm getting at is, second Passover is when the rapture is going to happen. It's going to happen this year, okay? But what you have to do is you have to account for the lamb going in to the house, okay, before the Passover. Okay, so you have to take 4 days off of the count for second Passover of 2025, back it up. That's when the rapture is going to happen. And the reason I say the rapture is going to happen there is because we have to go to the Bema Seat judgment. Most likely, we're going to be doing the Bema Seat judgment. He's going to be giving out his rewards and talking to us, okay, and judging us at the Bema Seat judgment during those 4 days. On the actual day of Passover, remember the Bible talks about the marriage supper of the Lamb. The marriage supper of the Lamb is the feast of Passover, is what I believe it is. Okay? That's what I believe it is. I use the King James Bible. You have to do your own studying and your own research in the Bible to find it out. Okay? And as far as I know, unless I'm mistaken, okay, Barack Obama is Satan's John the Baptist. You know how John the Baptist was the forerunner for Yeshua? Well, Barack Obama is the forerunner for the Antichrist. Okay? The Pope is the false prophet. Everybody knows that. But everybody's trying to pin out who's the Antichrist. Okay? Number one, I believe it's the Antichrist spirit. Okay? But number two, the actual Antichrist could well be possibly Donald Trump. And the reason I say is Donald Trump is you can Google Donald Trump on a white horse. That's number one. Google when he gave out the vaccine. It was Donald Trump that gave out the vaccine. The vaccine is the mark of the beast. Okay? And he was for people getting it. All the world will wonder whose name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, slain from the foundation of the world. At the time of Yeshua's death, okay, you have to account for the time of Yeshua's death when he died. Okay, the world's population was only between 200 to 300 million people at the time of his death. So Yeshua only came to die for at most 300 million people. Between 200 to 300 million people. Not the 8 billion people we have on the planet. Everybody quotes John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Well, they're forgetting the world at the time of Yeshua's birth and his death the population wasn't that big, okay? So everybody's thinking, oh, he died for all 8 billion people. He didn't die for all 8 billion people. He only died for between 200 million and 300 million people permanently. And mainly, he wanted the Jewish people to accept him as remember in the Bible it talks about the last will be first and the first will be last? That is implying, okay, the Jewish people are first. He chose the Jewish people first. They rejected the Messiah, so that's why he went to the Gentiles. The last will be first, and the first will be last. The first was going to be the ones that get raptured, and the last was going to be the revealing of who Yeshua is to the Jewish people. Okay? And remember when it says, talks about picking up your cross and following, it's praying every day. Praying every day. Pray without ceasing. That's coming to pick up your cross. Because has anybody ever tried to pray on a constant daily basis? You're always going to get distracted. You're going to get tired. You're going to get busy. You're going to forget. It's a cross. It's a struggle to pray every day. Like the word says, pray without ceasing. And the Bible talks about with your mouth you'll be condemned, or I forget the exact verse, but with your mouth will be condemned, or with your mouth you'll be justified. I believe it's like that, or maybe with your tongue, confession is made. I forget the thing. I forget the exact verse, but you know what I'm getting at. What that is when you pray out loud, you're confessing Yeshua every time you pray. With your mouth, you're justified. With your mouth, you're condemned. When you don't pray, you're condemned. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at, okay? The other thing is that the reason I say Obama is the Satan's John the Baptist is because Obama destroyed the country. He's gay. Everybody knows he's gay. He's married to a man. Everybody knows he's married to a man. That's not a man he's married to. It's a transvestite. So what it is Obama, that's why all this gay pride and all this stuff happened with the daggum rainbow, the White House and all that. When did it all happen? It happened with Obama because he's gay. All the agenda. He's a Muslim gay person. That's who he is. Okay? So he ain't had no... And remember, in his speech, he said the death of the Republic had never been seen or something like that. I remember him saying the death of the Republic. Obama said death of the Republic. And Obama said if he had an earpiece, he'd be in the ear in his sweats and talking to the thing, because he made a report on it. You can find it anywhere on YouTube. I think it was CNN or something like that broadcasted it, where he would be another third-term president. So what happened is Obama destroyed the country for the 8 years he was in office. He opened up, he made policies, he passed laws, he did regulations, he signed the thing for the guillotines to come in, the 30,000 guillotines. He passed all these. It's in the medical part. It's in the Affordable Care Act or something like that. It's medical is what it is. It's in the medical. They're using the medical thing, Affordable Care Act. They're using the right to health care, whatever they want, policy, whatever it is, to embed, to hide their actual goal, which is to kill people, which is to take control of people. So it's in the billing and coding of the medical system is the actual law and the legislation. I found it and I did a video about it, but nobody watches my videos. Anyway, Obama passed all these laws and got it ready, okay? Then when they elected Biden in office, okay, which was a fake. They forged it. They stole the election. Trump won. Everybody knows it. But what the devil had to do is the devil had to let the son of perdition go into perdition. He had to go. He had to get out. He is the fifth or sixth king, and it's in the book of, I think, Daniel, where he is the fifth or the sixth, or the king of the fifth or the sixth. Something. It talks about the kings. Like one is not yet to come. He is the eighth. One of them. I think it's one of those type. I forget if it's in Daniel or Revelations. But anyway, getting back to it is you have Biden going crazy, being stupid, letting everybody in, letting everything in. And the Bible even talks about how Babylon's bars are taken down. Excuse me, I got an itch mosquito bite. How Babylon's bars are broken down and they're cut asunder. That's because the border's wide open and people are just flooding into the thing. That's what it is. And all this stuff we see going on in the world is a time of it's the beginning of sorrows. That's what it is. We're seeing right now, all the stuff we're seeing in the world is the beginning of sorrows. Okay? And what else is it? I'm just talking off the cuff here. I ain't got everything in like order, but you get the point. You understand where I'm coming from if you watch my video. Okay, getting back to what I was talking about. Excuse the dog. I got a dog over here making noise. Stop it! Anyway, what it is stop it, dog. That's the devil trying to distract me by using the dog to scratch and make noise to distract me from trying to do it. And I got a dog barking. You see how the devil works? So I must be on the right track is what I'm saying. If I got all these dogs barking and distracting me. You see what I'm saying? That's how the devil does it. Anyway, getting back what I was saying. Obama, okay, set the government up with all these bad policies and all this stuff. He was going around getting all his people in positions of power. All these gay, trans activists, abortion activists, all these pro-abortion, he put all them in office, okay, during his 8-year term. Biden got in. He's an idiot, incompetent, okay? So the devil's giving you a choice. Nobody's going to want to vote for an incompetent person. So that sets Trump up to come in and take over and be the one that's going to be the power. And out of Trump's old mouth, he even said he's going to bring lasting peace to the Middle East. Trump is the one that put the capital of Jerusalem, or the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem and declared it the capital. Okay, he's pro-Israel. Okay, what's going to happen is Trump is a friend of Netanyahu. Okay, and he's also a friend with the Pope. Okay, so what's going to happen is after Trump gets elected, he gets into office, he signed the Abraham Accord. Okay, that's the covenant with many. Okay, but it hasn't been strengthened. It's going to be, like he even said, the Abraham Accord needs to be strengthened. If you go back and look up Trump, Abraham Accord, he says he'll strengthen the Abraham Accord and he'll bring a lasting peace to Israel. That right there should tell you automatically he's the daggum Antichrist, the first seal in Revelations. Okay, that should tell you by default, just by him saying that out of his own mouth. Deadly wound was healed. He was shot and he didn't die. Back in biblical times, when you see a person's head bleeding, you're thinking it's a deadly wound, when it was only an ear wound is all it was. It wasn't actual, and the ear can heal. Deadly wound was healed. Okay, his ear healed but was bleeding. They didn't think it wasn't, but it looked like it might have been his head if you were in biblical times looking at it through like a vision or having a vision. You see what I'm saying? So his deadly wound was healed. He rides on a white horse. He says he's going to bring lasting peace to Israel. And he signed the Abraham Accord, and he told everybody to take the vaccine. Okay? So he's most likely 98%, 99%, he's the Antichrist. Okay? All the world's going to wonder after him. Well, the population of the world at the time of Yeshua was between 200 and 300 million people. How many people is in the United States? 300-something million people. How many people is he going to win by? What percentage of the U.S. population is going to vote for Trump? Probably 80 to 90%. I'm ballparking because the election hasn't happened yet. But you see what I'm going for? You see what I'm saying? So he's going to come in. They have a crisis. They have all this chaos going, which they created, okay, which the devil created, so they can make way for the Antichrist to come in position of power and take over. Okay? So here it is in a nutshell. All right? Trump is the Antichrist. Pope Francis is the false prophet. Okay? That's pretty much what I'm getting at. And that nobody knows the day or the hour is talking about heaven and earth passes away. I get tired of hearing that every time I look up anything about the rapture, anything on the video, I look up any YouTube channel. No one knows day or the hour. If you read the verse above it or below it, it says, when heaven and earth passes away. Okay? When heaven and earth passes away is after the great white throne judgment, if you read the book of Revelations. Why is it no man knows the day or the hour? It's talking about when the great white throne judgment is over. No one knows the day or the hour. It's talking about when heaven and earth passes away. Heaven and earth passes away only after the great white throne judgment. Everybody has to go before the Father to give an account. So it's a trial. Think about it. It only takes a half a microsecond. If you go before a judge and you have to talk and listen to the judge talk to you, and say he only spends 10 minutes with you talking to you before he sentences you, but now you times everybody that's ever lived, all death, hell, everybody from creation all the way through, how long do you think that trial is going to last? That's why it says no one knows the day or the hour, because the Father doesn't know how long his trial is going to last, because you're talking 8, 12, 15, say 20 billion people, just theoretically. I don't know how many people has ever been born alive on the planet, but say it's between 8 to 10, 20, say it's 10 to 20 billion people, okay? 10 minutes for 8 billion people, just by the calculation on the earth right now, 8 billion people times 10 minutes. How long is that? Okay? That's why you don't know how long it's going to be when heaven and earth passes away, because you don't know how long his trial is going to be. Okay? But we're getting into the rapture. The rapture is going to happen in 2025, I believe, second Passover, and you got to count back 4 days from second Passover because the sheep goes into the house. We're going to be raptured, up in heaven, doing our Bema Seat judgment as like the sheep would be in the house. Everybody's forgetting the lamb goes into the house before Passover. And the marriage supper of the lamb is just a Passover. It's the Passover, is what it is. Okay, that's what it is. That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 99.9% that's what it is. Marriage supper of the lamb, the Bible's referring to, is actually the Passover. And remember, I believe it's in Matthew, where he says he longs to drink the cup, but he ain't going to drink it with you again until he goes into the Father's kingdom. Why is he going to do it in the Father's kingdom? Because he's going to have the Passover. He's going to celebrate Passover. We're going to celebrate Passover in his kingdom, up in his with him in his kingdom is what we're going to do. And so that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. Nobody's going to watch the video. It ain't nothing going to happen. Nobody's going to even care. They ain't going to pass it around. They're going to say, oh, he's rambling. They ain't even probably going to finish watching the whole full video. They watch like maybe 2 seconds of it and turn it off, which is fine. But I made the video. Blood's off my hands. I'm telling you what's going to happen. You don't want to believe me? Don't believe me. You don't want to research it? Don't research it. But I just felt compelled that I had to get it out there and put it out there for everybody to know about. And that's it. Read the King James Bible, pray, repent, find salvation. I made a lot of videos out on my YouTube channel. If it's still up, go through it and you'll see some of the stuff I put up online. Like I said in my previous videos, the dates might have been all for adjusted because I was thinking of different things back then, but it doesn't discount the fact that second Passover is when the rapture is going to happen. It's going to happen on second Passover. The tribulation is going to happen on Feast of Trumpets. Okay, well, and also, too, I believe what's going to happen is the third temple being built is going to be in the beginning part of the tribulation because you need 3.5 years to do it. So what's probably going to happen is Trump gets in office. Okay, everybody says yay, yay, and all this stuff. Then after 5 months, he's going to say, okay, let's build the third temple because he has respect from Israel. And he's going to get the Pope on board. He signed the Abraham Accord, so that ties him with the Muslims, okay? So more than likely, he's going to say, okay, let's go ahead and build the third temple, and then he's going to go ahead and start building the third temple. The third temple has to be started in the beginning of the tribulation because it's 3.5 years of construction. It's 3 years. Okay, let's go this way. It takes, the third temple is going to be built in the first part of the 7 years. 3 years is the temple built. They have the temple for the 6 months so they can do their celebrations and the rituals and their sacrifices in the temple. Then after the 6 months, he's going to take it over. So the Jewish people are only going to really have their temple, the third temple, for 6 months before it becomes defiled. Okay. Well, anyway, I can get into long. I ain't going to get into a tangent and go off on left field and all this stuff. You guys can watch my videos that I put in. I'm trying to tell people the best way I can. I'm not no good with computers. I ain't no technology. I ain't got no big channel, but nobody watches it. But I've done the best I can. I'm a watchman. I'm a disciple of Yeshua, and I'm telling you what's going to happen. All right.